I've always told myself I wouldn't be that guy. You know, the one, constantly checking his girlfriend's phone, getting weirdly controlling, asking, "Who was that?" every time she laughs at a message. I hated that version of myself. I swore I wouldn't become him. But life has a way of pushing your limits in quiet, slow ways. You don't notice the shift until you're halfway down a road you promised never to take. It all started when I met Nina. She was funny, warm, and had this way of listening that made you feel like the only person in the room. We met through mutual friends, grabbed coffee once, then kept texting until one day I realized I was telling her things I hadn't told anyone in years. She made me feel safe. So, we got together. Easy start. Fun dates, lazy Sunday mornings, staying up late just talking. That honeymoon phase where everything feels like it might actually last. About a month in, she mentioned her ex, Jay. She didn't say much. Just that they dated for years. It ended kind of messy, but they were on okay terms now. At the time, I didn't think much of it. Everyone's got history, right? But then Jay kept showing up. Not in person, not yet. Just in conversations. Little things, like, "Oh, Jay used to love that band. I haven't been to that place since Jay and I broke up. Jay was the first person who got me into this show." I brushed it off. It's natural to bring up people from your past, especially someone you were with for years. But then one night, we were watching a movie on her laptop, and she got a message. Her screen lit up. It said, "Jay, still think about that night sometimes. Hope you're okay." She didn't react. Just closed the notification quickly. I tried to stay cool. "Was that him?" She nodded. "Yeah. He sends weird stuff sometimes." I don't answer. I just nodded. Didn't say anything. But I started to wonder, why is he still texting you like that if you're really done? I didn't bring it up again, not then. But I started watching. And that's when I noticed, she never blocked him. A few weeks passed. Things were still good between us, on the surface. But I kept noticing more red flags I didn't want to admit were bothering me. Nina would get a little distant sometimes. Like we'd be out with friends, and she'd be all there, laughing, engaging, and then suddenly zone out. A quick glance at her phone. A quiet text reply under the table. Then she'd come back into the moment like nothing happened. Once, I asked her directly, "Is Jay still texting you?" She hesitated. "Not really. He's just going through some stuff." I don't want to be cruel. I raised an eyebrow. "But you're not together anymore." "I know," she said, looking uncomfortable. "But we were close for so long. He doesn't really have anyone. I can't just completely cut him off." I didn't say what I was thinking, that maybe cutting him off was exactly what she needed to do. Instead, I tried to trust her. We were lying in bed. She'd fallen asleep first, her arm draped across my chest. That's when I saw it, a small tattoo inside her bicep. A delicate letter, J. It wasn't new. It was faint, like it had been there for years. But it was the first time I'd noticed it. The letter was simple. Clean. Subtle. It could have stood for anything. But I knew exactly who it was for. She stirred awake and saw me staring at it. "You okay?" she mumbled. "What's the J for?" I asked, trying to keep my voice level. Her face tensed instantly. "It's not what you think," she said. "So not J." She sighed and sat up. "I got it when we were together," she said. "I was young. Stupid. Thought it would mean something forever. Why didn't you tell me?" "Because it's embarrassing. Because I hate it. I've thought about getting it removed a dozen times, but I don't know. Part of me just ignored it." That's when it hit me. She hadn't really let go. She'd cut off the messages. Blocked his number. Tried to move forward. But she hadn't dealt with the root. He was still there. Not just in her memories, but literally inked into her skin. And I realized I was in a relationship with someone who might always have a door open to the past. I didn't leave right away. I wanted to. But I stayed. We tried again. One more time. She got the tattoo partially lasered. Showed me photos of the sessions, tried to prove she was serious. She started therapy, said she was trying to work through emotional leftovers she hadn't dealt with since Jay. And for a while, it helped. Until one random afternoon, months later, I ran into Jay. At a gas station. He looked surprised, but not awkward. We exchanged a short, tense nod. Then he said something I'll never forget. "I'm glad she told you everything, man. That must have been hard." I frowned. "She didn't really tell me much." He laughed quietly. "Oh. Damn. Well, guess it wasn't everything, then." And with that, he got in his car and drove off. My hands were shaking. I didn't even pump my gas. I called her right away. "What didn't you tell me?" She went quiet. Then, slowly, she admitted something she'd left out. Right before we got together, she and Jay had hooked up one last time. A closure night, as she called it. "It didn't mean anything," she said. "It was over. But I didn't know you yet. I didn't think it mattered. But it did." Because she pretended that their last contact had been months before we met. That they'd been emotionally messy but physically done. She'd lied. Again. And I finally realized something I should have seen way earlier: some people don't cheat with their bodies. They cheat with their past. We broke up the next day. She cried, of course. Begged me not to walk away. Said she was finally ready to be honest, really honest this time. But I couldn't do it anymore. Not because of the hookup. Not even because of the lie. But because I couldn't live in someone else's shadow. Jay was always in the room with us, even when he wasn't. In the music she played. In the inside jokes I didn't understand. In the pauses between our conversations. I needed to be someone's first choice. Not a replacement for something they weren't ready to let go of.